What up, NBA fans? Before we start today's show, I want to ask you this question as we're about 2 weeks into the NBA season right now. Who is the best team? Who is the favorite, in your opinion, to win the NBA Finals? Let me know. Comment your answer down below. Welcome into NBA Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. In today's show, we're talking LeBron James, as some rumors around a potential LeBron James trade are heating up. So in today's trade, we're going to go through all the latest rumors. And then on the second half of the show, I'm going to give you my top 5 LeBron James destinations that I think would make the most sense for King James as his career starts to wind down. And let's start with, it sounds like LeBron James is just tired of what's going on with the Lakers and feels like he's being disrespected, because he posted this on social media just a couple of days ago, and he said, "How long will you be taken for granted, ... with a thought emoji and the crown, and said, keep on going, kid." And we'll get to this quote from LeBron James in a second, but the trade rumor started when George Karl tweeted out, future Hall of Fame NBA coach, that the Denver Nuggets should trade for LeBron James today. Look, that'd be a great duo. Jokic, LeBron, teaming up in Denver. The potential for that team would be crazy. Two of the biggest freaks of nature in the National Basketball Association. Two guys that are two of the most skilled passers in the NBA history. We'll talk about the Nuggets in a little bit, but let's talk a little bit about more about LeBron James and a potential trade and why he may force his way out of LA. He does not have a trade or a no trade clause. So if the Lakers wanted to trade him, they could. He does have a 15% trade kicker. So if he gets traded, his salary goes up by 15%. Look, the Lakers are off to a slow start. They're 0-4. LeBron James knows that Father Time is not on his side. The continuity, chemistry, and a winning environment are lacking on the court right now for the Lakers. It just doesn't seem like they're ever going to figure it out and be a legit contender in the Western Conference. I like Anthony Davis. I like some of their players on paper, but when you put them all out there and you roll out a basketball, they're just not a team that's going to win a lot of games. Is LeBron really just going to watch the final years of his career go by on a team that's lottery bound time and time again? I don't think so. I know LeBron still wants to compete. He wants to add another ring. He's chasing Jordan. He knows he has to add more to his resume if he wants to really be talked about as the GOAT. And the way he was talking about his team after a game the other night, it sounds like he knows this team is no good. He said, to be completely honest, we're not a team constructed of great shooting. It's not like we're sitting here with a lot of lasers on our team. And he's 100% right. We'll show you this Lakers roster in a little bit, and you can make your own mind up about it. But they do not have enough to win and not enough to compete in a loaded Western Conference right now. So I'll ask you the question. Should LeBron James force a trade? Should he try to get out of LA and go play for a team that's ready to compete and going to put him back in the NBA Finals? Sound off down below. Should LeBron force a trade? Type Y for yes. Type N for no. You, me, Dupree, and LeBron James all know the Lakers are not good enough to compete in this Western Conference. When you think about it, LeBron James right now is averaging 25, 10, and 8, and the Lakers have not won a game this season. How is that possible? How much longer do you expect him to play at this type of level when he's 37 years old, turning 38 in 2 months? You can't expect LeBron James to keep playing like the best basketball player in the league. And if you are, you at least have to surround him with some talent, because the way this Lakers roster looks right now, do you really think you can win an NBA championship with Austin Reeves, Russell Westbrook, and Thomas Bryant in your starting 5? No, you can't. You just can't. I like Lonnie Walker. I think Pat Bev's a solid defender. Kendrick Nunn should not be playing. Dennis Schroeder, the dude passed up $80 million. He clearly doesn't have that good a judgment. Juan Toscano-Anderson couldn't crack the rotation for the Golden State Warriors. This team has, if you took away LeBron James, this team would be competing for the number 1 pick in the NBA draft. That's how bad they are. Rob Pelinka should be ashamed because the Lakers are wasting LeBron's finals years in one of, if not, or the second best career of anybody that's ever touched a basketball. LeBron does not want to waste the twilight zone of his career when he wants to be in the limelight, when he wants to be competing for another title, because he still has the gas in the tank to do that. Can he be the best player on a team anymore and win? Honestly, I think he can. But imagine if he goes second fiddle. Imagine if he goes and plays with a guy like Luka. LeBron still has enough left in the tank to be an elite player and help a team chase a Larry O.B. So we're in a second here. We're going to talk about the top 5 LeBron James destinations that I think make a lot of sense. That's coming up around the corner in just a couple of seconds. We'll talk about LeBron James's top 5 trade destinations. But first, make sure you guys are subscribed here to Chat Sports, because we're going to continue to put out videos weekly and daily on the latest NFL, NBA, college football, XFL. If it's a sport, we're talking about it here on Chat Sports. So go down right now, hit that big red button, subscribe, and turn your notifications on. So anytime Tom Downey, Harrison Graham, Mitchell Renz, Chase Sr., anybody here at Chat Sports puts out a video on the latest news and rumors surrounding the NFL, NBA, college football, you get notified and you never miss it. Go down right now, hit that big red button. Let's start with the Cleveland Cavaliers is, I think, the most logical trade destination for LeBron James. And I know a lot of people are probably like, really? Part 3, LeBron to the Cavs? But when you look at the treasure chest of assets that the Cleveland Cavaliers have that they could offer up, I don't think there's any other team that's more equipped to make a deal to Rob Pelinka that he cannot refuse. I'm not saying you offer all 6 of these players up, but you could offer some sort of package centered around Darius Garland or Donovan Mitchell, Karis LeVert, Isaac Okoro, Evan Mobley, or Jared Allen. Those are 6 players right there that all have good trade value across the NBA. If the Cavaliers really wanted to, if they wanted to run it back, not 1, not 2, but for the 3rd time, the Cleveland Cavaliers make a lot of sense as a potential LeBron James situation, and it would be a storybook ending. Could you imagine LeBron James ending his career with the Cleveland Cavaliers and even possibly bringing back another championship to Cleveland? It's not just a storybook ending. It makes a whole lot of sense. We just showed you the trade chips that the Cavs could offer up. I personally think the Cavs are the number 1 team to make a LeBron James trade happen, but I want to hear from all the real ones down in the comment section. Share your thoughts. Let your thoughts be heard. Let me know what you're thinking. What is your top LeBron James trade destination? Sound off in the comments down below. Do you think we really could have talked about LeBron James, a trade and a destination, without mentioning the New York Knicks? No, we had to. Anytime that a superstar gets brought up in NBA trade rumors, the New York Knicks are going to be attached. And another reason is they have a potential 4 first-round picks coming up in the 2023 NBA draft. They have 11 first-round picks over the next 7 years. They can trade up to 8 first-round picks right now. The Knicks have the draft capital if they wanted to make a trade for LeBron James. And I think if the Lakers were to make a trade and move on from LeBron James, they would want just that. They would want draft capital, because you're not going to get an even return player-wise at this point for LeBron. If you trade LeBron, you are putting the boat into motion. You're not trying to win games anymore. You're trying to tank, and you're trying to rebuild your team through the NBA draft. The Knicks, they have more picks than anybody to offer in a trade. And like we know, Leon Rose has said it time and time again, the New York Knicks want a star. They want to make a trade for a star, and there's no other bigger star and a bigger name and a bigger guy and bigger box office than LeBron James. Didn't work out in 2010. Didn't work out the last time he was a free agent. Does he get traded to the Knicks? Probably not. But if a trade were to happen, I would not be shocked if the Knicks got involved with just the amount of draft capital that they could offer up in a trade. Look, you can bet on a lot of stuff. Do it with our proud sportsbook partner, BetUS. Shout out to them. You can bet on the NBA. You can bet on LeBron James winning the MVP. You can bet on who's going to win the MVP, the NBA Finals. Do it all with our proud sportsbook partner, BetUS. When you go to chatsports.com/bet and you use that promo code, chat125 right there, they're going to hook you guys up with a 125% deposit bonus. It's the best sportsbook offer you're going to find. Take advantage of it today. Go to chatsports.com/bet. Promo code chat125. What about the Golden State Warriors, the Dubs? Could the Warriors make sense as a potential landing spot for King James? I mean, LeBron James has said it time and time again that he would love to play with Stephen Curry. The love affair that these two have had and just the mutual respect that they share after they've gone at it time and time again on the highest stage in this sport. It would be awesome to see those two play together. I mean, both of them are top 5, top 10 players to ever play basketball, and I think they just mesh perfectly as Steph Curry continues to age and LeBron James continues to age. I think Steph is going to more move off the ball and be a guy that runs around the perimeter, coming off down screens and just catching it and letting it rip from downtown. And who would you rather have feeding him off of a pin down than LeBron James? But it's not just the fact that LeBron wants to play with Curry. The Warriors have players that they could offer to the Los Angeles Lakers that are very, very enticing. I mean, look, you got James Wiseman, a guy that was a number 2 overall pick. Jonathan Kuminga, still one of the youngest players in the NBA. He's also got one of the best nicknames in the NBA, if you know, you know. Moses Moody was a high draft pick that a lot of people across the NBA has legit scoring capabilities. Jordan Poole and Andrew Wiggins, you might be saying, but Marshall, they just signed contract extensions with the Golden State Warriors. Why would they trade him? Well, the Golden State Warriors are one of the smartest teams in the NBA. Just because they paid him doesn't mean they want to keep him. Go back to D'Angelo Russell when he was signed in NBA free agency. What did they do right after they signed him? They flipped him for Andrew Wiggins. You're telling me if Rob Pelinka said right now, give us Jordan Poole and Andrew Wiggins for LeBron James and we'll do it, that trade would happen. Not saying it would, but they are definitely on the table as trade chips. The Warriors have enough right here on screen if they really wanted to make one of the most competitive offers in a player package for LeBron James. Another team that LeBron James has a player on it that he absolutely loves, that is the Dallas Mavericks and Luka Doncic. LeBron James, outside of Luka's mommy and daddy, LeBron James is Luka's third biggest fan in the world. And it wasn't just me and Trace Gerard, our producer here, just shooting the shit saying, you know what, maybe he could go to Dallas. Brian Windhorst of ESPN said, now why would they do that? Brian Windhorst said, one other team I'll bring up as LeBron James looks to finish his career is the Dallas Mavericks. He does have an affinity for Luka. That's not exactly a hot take. When Luka signed with Nike, he wanted Luka to be a LeBron shoe kind of guy. Kind of like Jordan has all of these guys. LeBron loves Luka. We know that. LeBron James is one of the biggest fans of Luka Doncic in the NBA. He's talked about him on the shop. He's talked about him publicly. And he said it right here. His size, I mean, he's gigantic. A 6'8" point guard, he's 225 pounds. He has the ball on a string. And more importantly, his vision. That's why I love him. LeBron James loves him because he thinks Luka Doncic is one of the only players in the NBA that kind of plays like LeBron James. Luka's not nearly the type of athlete and hyper athlete that LeBron is, but he's an oversized point guard that's one of the best distributors in NBA history. And LeBron wanted Luka to be a LeBron shoe athlete. There is a connection there, no doubt about it. Could you imagine Luka and LeBron on the same team? Woo! That'd be pretty damn dangerous. The last team we're going to talk about as a potential LeBron James trade destination is the one that George Karl mentioned off the top of the show. What about the Denver Nuggets? A team with a 2-time MVP, a team that's trying to win titles right now. They have the assets to make it happen as well. You got Jamal Murray, who's coming off that ACL injury, looking to get back into the swing of things this year. He's had a couple good games. Michael Porter, I know he has a couple of back injuries that some people are worried about, but when he's healthy, he's one of the most prolific scorers and young talents in the association. And Aaron Gordon, he's a guy that's highly coveted and highly talked about as an elite two-way player that can attack the rim on offense. I don't know if you'd have to trade all three of these guys. I think 2 of the 3 would get it done for LeBron James. I mean, that would definitely be a possibility. Look, when you think about it, go back to the List 5 logo. Jamal Murray, you'd love to keep him with LeBron James and Jokic, but you'd probably have to give him up in a trade. These are the top 5 trade destinations I have for LeBron James. If he doesn't get traded, I can tell you this much, and he's already told us this. He is going to play with his son, Bronny James. LeBron wants to play with his son. He's made that abundantly clear, and I think that's one of the coolest things LeBron James has done in his career. This is what he said about playing with his son. He said, my last year will be played with my son. Wherever Bronny is at, that's where I'll be at. I would do whatever it takes to play with my son for 1 year. It's not about the money at that point. LeBron James Jr., Bronny James, is a senior in high school right now. So he'd have to go and play 1 year of college basketball. So not the 2023 NBA draft, but the 2024 NBA draft is when Bronny James will be eligible. And if LeBron James is traded, wherever that team drafts Bronny James, that's where LeBron's going to go sign in free agency. It's going to be a crazy, crazy couple of years to wrap up an amazing filled career by LeBron James. Who knows where he's going to play? I know this, though. He's got to get out of LA. They're not winning a title again with the Lakers. I appreciate everybody that's made NBA Now by Chat Sports a part of their day-to-day. Give me a follow over on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_. Everyone that follows me from this video, just send me a DM saying King James. Send me a DM, and I'll give you a follow back.